So I am curious for the two of you, because they saved the show and they've kept it on for many years. Do you sort of feel like when you need to buy something, it's like an automatic, I need to go to Amazon?
Absolutely. I feel a great sense of loyalty to Amazon for what they did for us. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm actually sincerely thankful. I'm like, I really mean it. I really
No,
thank
I'm mean it too. I am sincerely thankful. And it was such a great moment. I tell the story all the time when I was at the space conference and Jeff Bezos picked it up and I was hugging Buzz Aldrin and he didn't want me to hug him. And we just had all this. And so that was such a massive, great experience. And to continue this show that has just been such a blessing and an honor. And I love so much. I have an enormous amount of gratitude towards Amazon for doing that.
Yeah, I'm the same. What are you actually allowed to tease people about season 6? I know what I'd like to talk about, but I can't. So what are you guys actually allowed to say?
We can't talk about Amos's death. We had it under lock and key. So, we got to keep that one to the,
Maybe like where we're at coming into season 6.
Like, what do you want to tease fans who like want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a huge change in speed from season 5 to season 6. And I think that's kind of like, it's a bit shocking to see where we come in. And then the new worlds and kind of new side storylines too, that are really phenomenally played.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're basically, we've had the Westerns, we've had the different form, the crime noir and all this, but you're walking into a war movie and this is full throttle, heads down. It is the climax of the whole 6-season arc.
I'm curious for, this is obviously, you go in knowing it's the last season. Can you sort of talk about what it was like getting that last script? And, because I know that I believe it was like on Sundays, the cast gets together or something and reads the scripts. So I'm curious, is that where everyone read it for the first time together? And what was that actually like?
For me, for my experience, I always thought that, so, we've been doing this for about 8 years now. And it's kind of this routine that's been ingrained in me where we go to Toronto, we put our heads down, we make this season, we come back, we start promoting the season, it comes out, we go back to Toronto. And so I'm still kind of locked into the routine of it all. I know consciously that it's our last season, but it just hasn't sunk in yet. So even though we're getting the last episode and even though we're going down for the last table read and we have the last day on set, it just felt like it's part of the routine. It hasn't felt like this is the ending. So probably I'll be driving in my car a couple of years from now and just break down crying.
Sure.
The theme of the Expanse is hope. So I think we're just all in a bit of denial, hoping that another miracle will occur. Or you just don't want to deal with those emotions because it's sad.
The fact of the matter is that the series definitely plants seeds. Season 6 plants seeds for a whole bunch of things that, could blossom in different directions. And my whole thing is just, does Jeff Bezos, does he want to keep watching it? Because clearly he's, a fan. But for both of you, making a show like this, it requires so many moving pieces and so many people behind the scenes that, don't sort of get credit. So I'm curious for both of you, like, is there like an unsung hero or someone you just want to like sort of thank for their contributions to the show?
Well, I don't know if he's unsung, but I would say, so I would say Jeremy Benning is one of the MVPs of the Expanse, and that is our DP, our director of photography. And for what he's done in creating the look and the feel and the everything, he's brought the Expanse to life visually. And also Lewin Webb, who is a supervising producer, and he's kind of like a guardian angel on set and watching over things, and he's one of my favorite people. He's incredibly smart and he's just done such great work for us. And then, I could go on and on, we got, and also, and I know that we've interviewed him, we've had him on, but Naren Shankar, the showrunner, the reason that we love this show so much, and showrunner sets the tone, and it sets the work ethic, and he inspires and motivates, and that's where the leadership starts. And I think we have the best in the business with Naren. The reason why the set has been so harmonious and such a fun and wonderful place to work and so creatively supporting is because we've had Naren Shankar as the showrunner.
Is there anyone you want to add?
I'll add in props. I mean, they had to hear us bitch and moan getting into those suits every day and those backpacks and fans and I work it. It's like they did just such a great job. And then hair and makeup, we spend most of our time with these people, and they read the books and listened to the audiobooks, and they would be involved in these conversations and the different worlds, and they were really just genuinely inspired and like to converse about it. I mean, just the
and
passion.
Joanne and wardrobe. I mean, me, like what I am most impressed about is Joanne and all that she keeps up with, all the different looks of all the different Mars and Earth and the OPA and outer asteroid belts and all those things, her creating these different looks and visions and everything. To me, I think that's the hardest job on set, like to keep up with all those different things. And so she just does a really incredible job.
Yeah. Talented, sweetheart. And then everyone on set.
What was it like? Because fans really love the dynamic between your two characters. And I'm curious, what was it like after last season aired? Did you go online and look at social media at all and see, because it was so well done. And I'm just curious, like, if you noticed what fans were saying, if you pay attention.
I try to stay away from, I try not to, I think a lot of times, because I make an effort to not really read anything online, just because you never know what you're going to read. You might read something that'll ruin your day. So I kind of make an effort to stay off. So sometimes if people mention something to me, hey, you know what they're saying or what this or whatever, I'm usually surprised because I'm not reading or not being involved. If I see something with the Expanse, I kind of don't read it because it's such this beautiful thing for me. I think I'd be sensitive to it if,
People that I've personally engaged with on my social media sites, I mean, it's just been really supportive. But anything outside of that on like blogs or articles or a community places, like I haven't read anything out there. So I kind of, when you did say that, I was like, what are they saying? I don't know.
Listen, I understand. According to YouTube, on one day I'm the greatest interviewer ever, and on the next day I should be fired on the spot. So you just got to take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
It's So I know, Wes, that you mentioned last time I spoke to you that you casually borrow things from set. I believe you said that. Yes. So going in knowing it was the last season, did you casually borrow a lot more?
Yes. Yes.
I love the honesty.
Yeah, I stole a lot. But one of the things too is a lot of it's practical reasons. Okay. So, like the thing is, like, I always go into Toronto in the fall, and then we're always good. It always gets in the winter, and I'm never prepared. But Amos has got such warm jackets. So, and I'm not going to go shopping. I don't like to go shopping for clothes. So I just take that coat home, keep me warm. That's what I have to do. And there have been moments where we've been out to dinner and Dom say to me, "Are you wearing your wardrobe coat?" And I'm like, "I don't have another coat." So the answer is yes.
I love it. Did you take anything?
She's honest.
I took one pair of yoga pants. They're so comfortable. I live in them. I have them with me at this hotel, but I sweat in them so much in those suits that no one would ever want to wear them.
After this interview, we're going to get a bill for all the stuff that we've stolen.
I think they're just, with besides your own storyline, I am curious, which one did you think was just really well written? I mean, obviously the entire show is so well written, yes. But like, was there one that really stood out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think what they've done with Drummer's character has been incredible. I think that, the fact that she's been an amalgamation of a lot of other different characters from the books, and they created them and built this beautiful arc to be one of the fascinating characters one of the most fascinating characters of Expanse. I think they've done a good job with it.
And where it ends up at the end of this season is really powerful and moving on so many levels in our political, just the climate of gender and political, just how everything's playing out. really excited for everyone to see it.
Yeah, the finale is what we call good. I wish I could really get into that. What do you think actually, like years from now, what do you, if this ends up being the end of playing these characters, years from now, what do you think will actually be the thing that you miss the most?
I think the relationships. I think that we've been together now for 8 years, and working with this crew and the cast and the writers and we've had this, family like camaraderie, and I think I'll miss that the most.
The growth and it was fun. And I think growth is fun, even when it's really challenging. I really love that. So the passion behind this project of all of the creators and writers, and like we were talking about, all of everyone on set, is just a really high caliber project. I could only hope and pray that anything following would be semi close to it.
One of the things that I love about the show, one of the many things, is that I like that the proto-molecule is really not like the MacGuffin. It's sort of just like what helps everything get done, if you know what I mean. Like the writing it's not about the MacGuffin. Like
Falcon. Yeah,
it's not going to solve, like, it's not going to solve anything. It just leads characters searching for power and whatever else. Can you sort of talk about the writing on the series? Because I just think it's so well done and just so deep.
Well, what I think is unique about The Expanse is that it's genre firing on all cylinders. And I've read really great genre that was very strong in the sci-fi and the science and the theoretical science of it. And then you read, but they're not really the characters aren't as well developed. They're not as interesting. They don't really move me emotionally. And then you read things that are really moving and they're great character developments, but the whole sci-fi and the genre side doesn't really work. I think The Expanse fires on all those cylinders. I think it's beautiful, moving stories with characters that you can connect and relate to, and you're invested in them and their journeys. But it's also, the science is mind-blowing and theoretically interesting and fascinating and accurate, and so it's exciting on all levels of storytelling.
Very layered, complex. I mean, some of the writers, they came from training of Game of Thrones, and so it's very much compared to how many layers of worlds that there are in that, and that's a whole other thing. So I think comparing it is hard. And then how relevant it is, just what's going on with our world and how we could possibly see our future, with wanting to terraform Mars or colonize the galaxy, what that could possibly look like with the way that humans operate and how we take care of each other or lack thereof. So, having it make people think about where we're headed and why, and how we could possibly be better, like that is all ingrained in the creator's thought process of how they kind of encapsulate this ending that we're coming up against. And I think it's a really important narrative, and it's a new ending to these stories from our history of colonization and who wins and what is right and wrong. So I think that it's important to project that into our future.
When you said the writers training like Game of Thrones, I pictured them all with like big broad swords and like fighting against sharpened and like battling dragons.
I got to stop there. I'm just going to say I really want to thank you guys for making the show. It's been such a blast. I love it. And
thank you so much.